This week on Colonial Sports Center, we're going to talk a lot of men's basketball, David.
A historic performance, and we're also going to get to look at Robert Morris women's hockey taking on a top team in the country.
Absolutely. The men's hockey team did the same when they faced Penn State.
And women's basketball team had some offensive struggles.
Absolutely, but only here on Colonial Sports Center. And this week on Colonial Sports Center, I'm Greg Sutton alongside me.
And I'm David Szymanski. If you watched ESPN this morning, or really any major sports media network, then you already know the story. Josh Williams went out and set a record last night. He's in studio with his teammate Charles Bain to discuss that performance as well as some of the upcoming RMU men's basketball season.
Absolutely, David, and we're going to talk about that and a lot more. I have Coach Luke Yost here in studio with us tonight, and we're going to sit down and analyze some of that and even more. It's going to be really exciting to talk to him.
Right, it's certainly hockey weather. I mean, the streets outside right now are an ice rink, so it's definitely going to be a subject of the night, but it's going to be heavy in basketball because of that record-setting performance.
Yeah, Penguins and players like right now loving the ice outside, but why don't we jump right into the basketball? We talked a little bit already, but the Colonials surpassed the 100-point mark for the first time since 2009, and but one Colonial in particular really had himself a night in his first home game in a Colonials uniform. Transfer student Josh Williams, the brother of John Williams, made sure that the home crowd knew his name at the end of the night. And this is what we're talking about. Josh Williams, behind the three-point arc in this game, just absolutely phenomenal. Here we have a little counter for you. We're going to keep track for you so you don't have to count in your head like I did a little bit earlier, because you're going to need more than two hands. We'll put it like that. And this game was absolutely phenomenal for him. He ended up with 49 points on the night, so that's really impressive for his first home game. I imagine his brother John's pretty excited, but Josh really had a busy day today. He talked with 93.7 The Fan this morning. He's here with us tonight. He was on, not Colonial Sports Center, but Sports Center this morning and last night. And it's really exciting to see something like this come out of the Colonials basketball team. And the really exciting thing about here is he's wide open on a lot of these shots. Not a lot of coverage on him. You'd think after 10 you would start covering him a little bit closer, but he just keeps going. Nothing can stop this man. It's kind of like the Energizer Bunny. He just keeps going and going and going and going. Here we at 11. He dribbles a little bit, decides he wants to take another one, makes it 12. It's just exciting. I know there were a lot of people there last night, and they were chanting for Josh Williams whenever the night was coming to an end. Another almost uncontested three there at the top of the arc. He's sitting too shy right now of tying the NCAA record. This one, 14. After this, he gets taken out of the game, but the crowd realizes where they're at, and Coach Toole put him back in for this shot here. Clock's winding down. He takes a shot there, around 30 feet, 0.7 seconds left, ties the NCAA record for most single-game threes made in collegiate history. An amazing first home game for Josh Williams after the transfer to Rob Morris to play with his brother John. And Coach Toole had a couple things to say afterwards.
Fun night for our guys. Really cool for Josh to be able to get tie the NCAA record for most threes in a game. Like most of the time, coaches ruin stuff, so I took him out. I didn't know that he was one short of the record. Fortunately, one of our managers was informing us, and I also would get a couple texts on my Apple Watch, which I don't think I'm supposed to be looking at during the game. But so we put him back in dramatic fashion. Of course, he makes it, with 0.7 of a second on the clock, which was really neat. And I was excited to see how much fun his teammates had with it and how excited they were for him. So.
And right now I'm going to be joined here on Colonial Sports Center by Coach Luke. As you can see there, he likes to think he's a champion. But Luke, thanks for joining us tonight.
First of all, I want to say I am the champion. That is still on my desk to this day. But yeah, thanks for having us. I'm
really excited to see what you have to say. Now, I know you picked out a couple of plays and you kind of analyzed them and seen what you were thinking about. So why don't we just jump right into that, and we'll turn it over to you.
Let's do it. Let's watch some clips here. So this is going to be the first made three for him in the game. He's a lot of space. There's 5 feet before anybody else gets to him, and again, an uncontested three-pointer. Here we go. The second one, number 0 here. This is going to be Julian Stover. He's going to take a bad route to the basketball. You're going to see it right here. He does not go directly to him. Kind of hooks around, gets another wide-open three.
And that was really the story of the night for the defense here against Robert Morris.
Jamal Stephan, he jumps. He loses his ground and just step through, bangs on the three. This guy gets caught looking at the ball. He gets caught, he loses the ball, loses track of where Josh Williams, and another open three.
And that's just the story of the night for Josh Williams. He just had nobody in front of him and a lot of net in front of him.
Exactly, and this time he runs down the floor well, finds the open space, makes sure he can catch this ball and create a shot. And right here, we're going to see it. Again, nobody out there to contest it. Another easy three. And then this last shot for number 15 on the night was from way deep, about 30 feet. We looked at it, and again, right there, bang, right there. With 7 tenths of a second to go on the clock. He's excited. We're excited to watch it.
And
Crazy time.
You could see how emotional that was, and just a great night for Josh Williams, as we've been saying, his first home game, and it's just really exciting. So why don't we take a break over here, Luke, and we'll send it over to David, Charles, and Josh, and they're going to talk about that night now.
And I'm joined by Josh Williams and Charles Bain. And, last night, obviously, very exciting. And what was different for you guys, not only was it a great performance, but it was in a different venue for you guys. You played all of last year. You had to sit out. But last year, you guys were down at PPG, Paints. And this year, you're coming back on campus. What was that like? What was the transition like back to being on campus?
I feel like playing at PPG is a different field. But playing at the rec where, more of the students could come out and support you, fill up the gym and make some noise while the game is going on. I feel like that. I mean, it feels more at home, more special, especially when you have like big moments like he had, breaking records and all that.
Yeah, what was that like with all of the students there? Because we were back on campus and the stadium was close to full, especially in the student section.
It was huge. It was huge just to sit out that year, and like Charles said, it was just different because we were at home on campus where you could see your logo on the floor instead of somebody else's, and just to come off of a year sitting out and be able to do that in front of people who have welcomed me with open arms was just huge.
Right, and so obviously, you had an idea of how the night was going and how well you were playing, but at what point throughout the night did you have an idea that, man, I can make 15 threes? Did you know that was the record, the 15 threes?
I had no idea.
Okay.
I had no idea where I was on the makes that I had during the game.
Right.
I just know that I had guys behind me like Charles telling me to keep shooting, keep shooting, so I did.
And Charles, how did you, as his teammate, see the night unfold? When did you know that it was going to be something special?
I don't know, to be honest. Just like you say, he didn't know he was going to shoot like 15 threes a game, make 15 threes. But I didn't know he was going to make the record until like the announcer was like, oh, he had 13 or 14 threes. Then coach took him out, and then I hear the crowds like, put him in, we want Josh, we want Josh.
Yeah.
And then like when he got in, he made 15, and then they announced like it's like tied the record for history. It's like a good experience.
And it was a really special night, and I'm sure today was pretty special for you as well, Josh. What media outlet or what media person was the coolest that recognized your accomplishment?
I think it's great, to be on Sports Center.
Yeah.
That in itself is amazing. But probably one of the local radio guys. I forget his name. I think it's Colin Dunlap.
Cool.
I think that was pretty cool to be reached out by someone in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. That's awesome, and that's pretty special. I'm glad you got the recognition that you did. So continuing, beyond the record performance to the season. So you guys opened the season with USC, which is one of the better teams that you'll play throughout the year on paper, and you guys were leading in the second half. But ultimately, they came back and they ended up winning that game. But you guys have some big games coming up in Purdue and Louisville. So what can you guys learn from that loss to take into those games, so maybe you can close out against one of these big-time opponents?
I feel confident with our team and what we could do as a team. Against USC, we came out with the intentions to win the game. We were up like 5 points with like 8 minutes left in the game, and like little stuff like turnovers, losing focus, and like losing sight of that. We have this high-ranked team in the Pac-12 on their heels. Instead of taking advantage, we kind of let it slip away a little bit.
Yeah, what do you think you can take from that first experience? It was your first game as a Colonial.
Yeah, I would agree with what Charles said. Like you said, it was my first game as a Colonial, but I've been in other games, big venues, and I think the maturity thing, the maturity side of it is something big to take out of it. We got to sustain our effort throughout the whole game and never let up. When you get up in a situation like that, you have to charge forward even with even more head of steam.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, right.
Just keeping at it.
And so those are obviously two of the big opponents left, and then you guys will begin conference play. So this year the conference is going to look a little bit different. Junior Robinson's gone; he was the player of the year, and this season the team's looking a little bit different. Who are you guys most looking forward to playing in the conference?
It's a good conference. A lot of teams in the conference get most of the players back, like St. Francis, PA. I think they're picked preseason #1.
Okay.
But I don't think we worried about any team in our conference. As long as we play the way we play and play hard every night, we should have a successful year.
To be honest with you, I'm ready to play everybody.
Yeah.
Anybody in the conference, I'm ready to play. I sat out and watched them play for a whole year, so just anybody, especially whoever is #1.
Right, and so you guys are definitely just looking forward, especially you. You got to watch all the teams last year. You didn't get to get into the games, but this year you certainly will, and I'm looking forward to the conference play as much as you guys are, I'm sure. So thank you guys for joining us. Josh, congrats on your record-breaking performance, and congrats on a great start to your season as well, Charles.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
And when we come back, we're going to have a lot of hockey to discuss, as well as some of the women's basketball.
Hey, Dad. I need your help asking Jessica to prom.
Of course. Love is like the ocean. You have to tread the
Oh,
waters.
Dad. That's not the kind of help I needed. Hey, Jessica. Will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. This guy, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Well, this past weekend, the Colonials went to Kentucky to play their final road game of the season against the Colonels of East Kentucky University. Robert Morris has been unable to win a game on the road this season, and their last road win was in 2015 against the in-conference rival, Wagner. Coach Bernard Clark would also be looking to claim his first road win at the head of the team. To Richmond, Virginia. We're going to take a look here at how the game went for the Colonials, and this one was really close, right down to the wire. Colonials would end up, or Colonels would end up defeating the Colonials 40-39. So it was a pretty intense game up to the wire.
Right, and it was decided on a 2-point conversion at the very end. Coach Bernard Clark went for the win, and they didn't end up getting it, but a great performance by Jimmy Walker, who threw for 4 touchdowns.
One of the things that really hit the Colonials, though, what I seen was that blocked punt there early in the game, right before halftime, and Colonials just kind of be able to keep the momentum going, but not enough to get that 2-point conversion and continue on to win the game. But they have one more chance to win a game at home here this Saturday against the Wagner Seahawks. And the Colonials played their best road game of the year. The offense was quarterback Jimmy Walker. Oh, that's the wrong thing. I apologize. The next thing we're going to talk about here is women's basketball versus LaSalle. And they were here up at the North Athletic Complex in Robert Morris University to play the LaSalle Explorers this past weekend. So let's just jump right into the highlights here, David. And as we see, Colonials Explorers up at the NAC. This time we're going to see the Colonials move the ball really quickly here. The first one here is going to be through Esther Castillo with a three-pointer. She finished the game with a team high of 12 points. This time we get to see Hanoka Ikamatsu doing what she does best, shooting her threes from the outside. We're going to see this one. It rattles around the rim, off the backboard, rattles around a little bit more, and drops in.
Hey, she knocks a lot of them in just right through the net. But, if she needs a bouncer too every now and then, we'll give it to her.
Absolutely. Everybody deserves a bouncer too. This time we're going to jump into the second quarter of play. Nina Augustin drives the bottom. Ozzy Mamodu inside basket. Led the team with 10 rebounds on the day. Ozzy Mamodu did. This time we're going to see Nina Augustin from the three-point arc, out back, just like Josh Williams. Splash, nothing but net. Robert Morris going into the fourth quarter of play against LaSalle. Here we're going to get to see it. Robert Morris winning 62-34 with Vilvaflor, steal and layup. And LaSalle was held to just 22% shooting on the day as the Colonials ran rampant with a win of 67-39 over the Explorers.
The Robert Morris women's basketball team headed into their out-of-conference opponent, Rhode Island, looking to gain a win. They've lost their identity from last season as they graduated a few key players, and this was another opportunity at home to show Colonials fans what their team is all about this season. And heading over to the court, we get to see the women's basketball team, start off, Greg, and they struggled on offense, but you can't tell it here early in the game. They're knocking down threes, which is something that they're good at. They scored 21 of their 41 points on the night, only 41 points, but from behind the arc, 21 of them happened. Rhode Island only made 12 from behind the arc, so Robert Morris had the edge there. And Robert Morris being a defensive team, if I gave you that stat, you would say they're going to win the game. But the problem is Robert Morris shot 22% from the field on the entire night. So ultimately, Rhode Island topped Robert Morris.
Absolutely. And so Robert Morris men's hockey traveled to University Park to lace up their skates against the nationally ranked Penn State Nittany Lions last Friday to start out the weekend series. And the Colonials dropped the first game of the weekend to the nationally ranked Nittany Lions by the score of 7-2. Nick Lalonde had 2 assists on the night for the Colonials, and the 2 goals came from Alex Tonch and Grant Herbert. But for Penn State, 6 different players found the back of the net in the 60-minute contest. Nikita Pavlichev, the junior from Russia, had a night himself. Pavlichev tickled the twine twice and also had 2 assists in the night. But the Colonials would have a second chance to tame the Nittany Lions the next night on Neville Island in Colonials Arena at 7:05.
Well, as Greg just said, the first game of the series between Penn State and Robert Morris left the Colonials hungry for redemption. Luckily, the second game of the series would be played on home ice at Colonials Arena. In what turned into an absolute shootout, let's see if the Colonials could find the back of the net enough to split the weekend series. Colonials Nittany Lions, Colonials Arena, and here we go. Early in the first, Penn State's gonna get a great look here, and they're going to convert, but Robert Morris comes right back, and they're going to tie things up, and it's 1-1. And honestly, the first period was one that was played pretty level. Robert Morris is going to end up being tied with Penn State 3-3 after the first. The game actually is going to end up going here to 4-4. So you see all these goals early. So right there, that's another great goal. But look at this. Goalie gets caught behind the net. Easy goal right in front, flips it right over with the great play there for the Colonials.
But this is super exciting to see because Penn State's ranked 8th in the nation, and Robert Morris being able to do this at home against this team is amazing.
Yeah, and that was a great goal by Alex Tonch to tie it up at 4-4. But then you see the scoreboard, and you're like, wait, what just happened? Penn State scored 7 straight unanswered. Talk about being one of the best teams in the country. That's what they can do, and the Colonials learned the hard way just how good the Nittany Lions were, losing the game 11-6.
And while the men's team was facing the number 8 Penn State, the women's hockey team also faced a ranked opponent themselves when they took on the 10th best team in the country, Colgate University. To Colonials Arena to see if Robert Morris could beat one of the best programs in the nation right now. And unfortunately, the Robert Morris Colonials wouldn't be able to quite do that. They would lose that game, the first one at least, and it was a tight contest throughout, but the Colonials definitely fought their hardest.
It was, and they were looking forward to playing Colgate. And the best thing about these hockey series, something that I love is you get 2 games. So they lose to one of the top-ranked teams in the country, Colgate, but then they get them the very next night. It's something that you can learn from. Robert Morris women's hockey is not afraid of the big game, and so they went into that second matchup against Colgate looking for some revenge, as you just said that they lost that first game.
Absolutely, and they never give up, and they always like seeing these big games. I heard a quote the other night, actually last night on Sports Talk. It was from one of their equipment managers. He says, in order to be the best, you have to beat the best, David.
That's right, and in that second game, the Colonials would end up in a deadlock, a 2-2 tie with Colgate, which was quite the performance by the Colonials, but they just could not get it done. And here we go, Greg, we're actually going to get to see the clips from this tie. I already gave away the ending, but how we got there is pretty exciting. So Colgate takes a 1-0 lead, and when you have a ranked team come in like that and they take a lead on you, it definitely hurts, especially when you lost that first game. But watch how the Colonials are going to fight back right here. This first goal is going to be scored by Natalie Marcuzzi. And she finds the back of the net, and we're going to slow it down because the puck's flying all over. We want you to be able to see it. So we slow it down, and there it is. In her hand, on the ice, back of the net.
Absolutely. It's a great to see how much she kept her composure and able to put the puck back on the ice, level it out, and then score the goal.
Yeah, and then right there, Colgate in the third says, nope, Robert Morris, this is our game. And they put one in right there on the Colonials. And you love the all red. That's what the basketball team was wearing. I love the look. But the Colonials, Maggie Legg says, nope, not so fast. I may be a defenseman, but I've got something to say about the end of this game. And she puts one on the back of the net to tie it up at 2-2. And Robert Morris is going to hang on. Despite all the power plays and tie the Raiders at 2 goals apiece, one of the top teams in the country.
Yeah, and it was really exciting to see this, David, because the Colonials, we've seen such success in the past couple years with both programs, with Brady Ferguson and Brittany Howard, but it's exciting to see this competition level keep going after these two graduated.
Yeah, they're not afraid of the big game, and it's great when they play teams like this early in the year. I was talking to Josh and Charles about playing big teams and how it can transfer over into conference play.
Absolutely.
And it's great to see the women's hockey team
it's very
playing
exciting.
that well early.
After we go to this commercial break, David, I'm going to get to go back over to Coach Luke's corner, and we're going to talk a little bit more about some of the plays out this past week. And this week we're kind of changing up upcoming games, and they're going to want to see how this is going to work. But you're going to have to stay tuned here on Colonial Sports Center.
I was physically at school, but my mind wasn't at school. I had problems at home. That's when I met Narnese. She started helping me a little bit, like, Nia, I don't know what you're doing, but your future is more important. She's my strength. It takes a village to help somebody get their diploma. It changes your whole life.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be blood. Next Thursday?
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day.
I have no time for this.
So
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
What to expect when you're expecting.
Like here.
A teenager.
Today, I'm going to show you how to team-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys. Preferably somewhere they would never look. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey.
I'm ready for them. Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Home fire drills give your family a plan of action. In a home fire, you may have less than 2 minutes to get out. So when you drill, show everyone 2 ways out of the house, pick a safe meeting spot, and get there in under 2 minutes. Then practice home fire drills at least twice a year. You can even make them fun. So everyone knows the sound and exactly what to do when they hear a smoke alarm. Go to ready.gov/fire drill and learn how to prepare your family for home fires.
And welcome back to Colonial Sports Center, and we are back over here.
It's better
in
every
Coach
time
Luke's corner.
It's better every time I see it.
It's an absolutely amazing picture.
It's a
I love
great
it. I'm a
picture.
big fan.
It's,
but Luke, why don't we just carry us through what you want to talk
all
about?
right,
I'll
so-
ride passenger, you drive.
Yeah, we've got a lot of things to talk about here. We've got a lot of games to break down. So let's roll into the first one. We've got women's basketball up. First, let's see how they did, and let's see what we've got to critique them about this season so far.
5-0 Rhode Island, 2 minutes in.
So we're going to pause it right here. Now, when that pass goes to Megan Callahan in the corner, Nia Adams got to realize that her defender is going to come back towards Nina Augustine, who inbounded the ball, and Nia Adams has to come back towards the middle to become an open player for Megan Callahan, because if she doesn't, that pass is going to get picked off. And there's a Rhode Island Ram in the back court here that we don't see, but when this pass does come through, we will see her. But yeah, again, Nia Adams, she breaks towards the sideline. Here we go, and there's the tip ball. She didn't steal it that time, but later in the game, you would see that play become very, very difficult to watch them go through. So you guys talked about the ice. We talked about hockey last time. Before that last commercial break, so let's talk about some more hockey. We've got men's hockey up first. So they had a big night. And again, this is on the power play here. This is during the Penn State game at Robert Morris. Penn State's on the power play. Tanj and Jenny get caught on the side. Greg, what's the most important thing about the power play?
The most important thing is you don't want them to get the puck in the middle of the net. There's no other people keeping the ice.
Exactly. Keep the box, keep the middle of the net, keep the slot area clean. They're over there. They get caught up here. Giles here has a great chance to block a shot here, but doesn't get in position in time. And then we see a quick goal there on the power play for the Nittany Lions.
And it's hard to keep that box whenever you're down a man. You just want to cover the puck, but you have to make sure that box is there to keep the middle of the ice
you got to keep everybody in time. And Greg, who's the best player on the women's hockey team?
You know what, Luke? I'm not going to say. Why don't you tell us?
It's J.C. Gephardt. She had the greatest shot of the year. I think you're going to enjoy this one. Let's see it.
I'm pretty excited, Luke. If you say it's the best,
all right, so Maggie
so.
passes it to J.C. Gephardt on the boards here. She's going to step towards the dot, and we're going to freeze right there. See a little circle I made there?
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
See how much room that is?
Yeah, it looks about like two pucks. Two, 3 pucks.
Yeah, maybe. She can take her on the glove side, though. But no, she takes that shot and puts it in. Snipe of the year. That's the best shot I've seen in a long time.
That was absolutely beautiful, Luke. I don't know.
That was crazy.
The last time I seen a shot that went bar down like that, the ability for
bar down in the
collegiate
corner
player in order to have that much accuracy,
wild.
to be that patient with the puck, that's definitely amazing. So what do you have for us next, Luke?
Okay, so this is my favorite shot of last night. I was there. I watched all 15, and that 15th one was big. That was from way outside.
0.7 of a second left on the clock.
0.7 of a second left to go. But the best shot I saw last night, it came at halftime of the game.
Ooh.
Let's see it. It's our boy Alex Temple from the tool shed. He misses the first one off the scoreboard, misses the second one off the top of the backboard. So he's getting progressively lower. This is his last shot for Chick-fil-A for a year. He wins Chick-fil-A free for a year if he makes this shot. Let's see how it goes. And swish. Perfect. Money. He's excited. Watch him run. He jumps up to the media table, almost falls, jumps down, runs, meets the dude talking to him. It's a great time, having a great time, and he runs off to get his free Chick-fil-A for a year.
It looked like he was about to shed his shirt as they do in soccer
It
after
was
a goal.
crazy. He was about to tear it off Hulk Hogan style.
I'm going to have to go see Alex Temple to see if I can get some Chick-fil-A because I know he's going to have plenty to share.
It was wild.
So that's exciting. It's really exciting. Just like Nina Augustin in that one clip that we seen earlier. Nothing but net, too.
It was perfect.
He zeroed in, hit the scoreboard top of the backboard, and just
kept
pounded it
getting
right
lower
in.
and had some point going to get there.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Luke, for coming in and talking to me. Thank you for analyzing. And when we come back after the break, the new and improved upcoming games on Colonial Sports Center.
I was physically at school, but my mind wasn't at school. I had problems at home. That's when I met Narnese. She started helping me a little bit, like, Nia, I don't know what you're doing, but your future is more important. She's my strength. It takes a village to help somebody get their diploma. It changes your whole life.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be blood. Next Thursday?
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
And welcome back to Colonial Sports Center. Now, David, we've kind of tweaked upcoming games for this week, and I'm kind of excited to see how this is going to go. But the game that I'm most excited to see this week with Robert Morris is the men's basketball team. They're going to travel to Lafayette, Indiana to take on Purdue University on November 23rd. That's where we're going to be on break. And as of right now, Purdue has played a total of 4 games, and they haven't lost one yet. The Boilermakers have 2 games slated before they tip off against Robert Morris, and the next game is either against Davidson or Wichita State. And the game that is supposed to be played on November 18th still has no opponent, so that's kind of weird to see. But with the next 2 Colonials games are in 2018 College Basketball Hall of Fame Classic. Robert Morris will play Mississippi Valley State this coming Saturday, and then they will play Stetson on Monday, and we'll have until they make the trip to Indiana to face the Boilermakers. And the Boilermakers have scored 341 points, and Robert Morris only scored 288. So it's going to be exciting to see, especially after that big one they're coming off of.
It is. And while you're excited for that game, Greg, I'm excited for the Robert Morris women's basketball team. And, you know, as the students head home for Thanksgiving break, they're going to still have an opportunity to watch the women's basketball team this weekend as they take on Bowling Green. This game's available on ESPN Plus, a big-time game. This game pits 2 teams that don't have much history together. Bowling Green leads the series 3 games to none. But you know that the Colonials are looking for that first win, and you know they're this is going to be one of the best teams that the Colonials have put forward. So let's see if they can get that first win against Bowling Green.
Absolutely, 2 exciting games. We both picked basketball, and let's just say this was an exciting episode. A lot of new things, record breakers on show, Luke Yost, and from everybody here at Colonial Sports Center, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you after Thanksgiving break.